The Red Wheelbarrow, written by William Carlos Williams and published in 1923, is an imagist poem in that it portrays the precise depiction of an image: a red wheelbarrow outside in the rain next to the chickens. At first glance, the poem appears to be quite simple in both structure and meaning, but its many layers are revealed through the analysis of its structure, punctuation, and literary devices. The poem is divided into 4 stanzas, and each stanza is a couplet. The first line in each stanza contains 3 words, while the second line contains 1 word. This repetitive structure symbolizes a wheelbarrow in at least 3 different ways. First, the repetitiveness shows dependability. It is a consistent structure that we, as readers, can see and rely upon as a foundational element of the poem. Likewise, wheelbarrows carry the same level of dependability. When something heavy is placed and carried in a wheelbarrow, the wheelbarrow is not going to fall apart. The second way the structure symbolizes a wheelbarrow is that each stanza looks like a mini wheelbarrow, holding its own weight in knowledge and understanding. We can see that 3 words lie on top of 1 word in each stanza, which illustrates that the meaning of each of the single words can stand on their own while supporting the overall meaning of the stanza. The first stanza puts this idea into motion by opening with "so much depends upon." This tells us that the speaker believes something is very important. What is important is revealed in the second stanza, and how and why it is important is revealed in the third and fourth stanza, respectively. The third way the structure symbolizes a wheelbarrow is by separating this compound word within the framework of the poem. So, in order for this visual structure to work, the word wheelbarrow has to be divided into 2 words. Independently, the word barrow can mean wheelbarrow, or it can mean a mound of dirt, or it can mean a pile of rocks that are used to place over graves. The multiple independent meanings themselves represent the multiple independent uses of the wheelbarrow, each significant in its own right. How clever! The structure is complemented with enjambment, the running on of an idea from one line or stanza to another. This allows the ideas to build upon one another in layers. What's obvious is that the poem is missing capitalization and only includes a period at the end. Combined, they decrease the level of excitement and make the poem more contemplative, as though someone is making an observation. But looking deeper, this can imply that wheelbarrows are simply overlooked, too small of an idea to even ponder about. However, this idea is complicated in that it is embedded within a framework that is actually a complete sentence, marked by a period, juxtaposing the idea that something insignificant is embedded within a complete idea. So maybe what appears to be a simple idea is not so simple at all, eh? Examples of alliteration include concrete words like red, rain, wheel, water, white, barrow, and beside, which helps to visualize the scene, thus creating imagery. Other descriptive words, such as glazed, help reframe the importance of the wheelbarrow. The fact that it is left out in the rain will surely cause it to rust, but in this context, what is a neglectful act helps highlight its beauty. So the unattended wheelbarrow, in essence, shines like glass. Is it just me, or is anyone else thinking of glazed donuts? Anyway, moving on, it is also important to note how color adds to the imagery. Red and white, which are also examples of alliteration, speak to the seemingly ordinariness of the scene. They are typical colors one might see on a farm, and they also represent the idea that there are hidden treasures within plain sight. Sometimes the hidden treasures are beside the white chickens. The thematic focus of the Red Wheelbarrow is that everyday elements in our lives are often overlooked. Wheelbarrows are highly useful and can be used for multiple things. It is a universal tool closely linked to agriculture and rural communities, which are the foundation upon which civilizations are built and necessary in order to survive. The poem highlights the common worker, the worker that does back-breaking work every day and is unseen but nevertheless very important, as is nature, like rain that provides natural water for crops and animals that not only produce food but become the food themselves. It implies that the man-made wheelbarrow works in harmony with nature, not against it. Thus, it sits next to the white chickens and is glazed with water and not rusting. It comments on the larger idea of taking common experiences and people for granted. It suggests that with neglect, relationships can deteriorate. But adding a little TLC into the mix can turn a rusty relationship into a glistening one. Are there wheelbarrows in your life that you are taking for granted? Take this poem's advice. Don't take the simple things in life for granted. Glaze them a little with rain.